This is my away luggage that I use as my camera bag. This is a bag that I use for light stands and flash modifiers that don't fit in the bag. And I want to be able to add this to that using 4 of these. These are anchor points that are typically used for trucks, and we'll be attaching 4 of these onto here, on top, and also onto the bottom, and then be using ratchet straps just to hold the bag. That way I can be hands-free. So I marked the plates where I'll be adding the anchor plates onto. So 2 on the top, and then also 2 on the bottom. Next up, I'm gonna drill some holes so I can screw this in. Quick progress. The anchor plate doesn't add too much bulk. If it wanted to, you could probably paint this black. And so I'm just going to be adding the other one. So the reason why that I got this style is because they're actually quick releases. So this, obviously, if I'm not using it, looks pretty bulky. And so if I wasn't using it, I'd be able just to pull up and then slide out. And so these are actually rated, again, for trucks. So they have a ridiculous 300-pound payload. But obviously, I'm not going to be using that, since I'm only going to be using this to hold up a few stands on the exterior of the case. So if you're wondering about the length of the bolts, yes, they are long. And so from the interior, when you unzip the inside here of the away case, you'll definitely see that it protrudes out here. I would say it's about almost 2 inches that it's coming out. So that's on the bottom. This is the one on the top, just looking at it right there. And so insulation wise, what you would do still here to complete it, you would add the plate, and then you would add the nuts over here, so that way the weight is not just all onto these screws, but instead it gets distributed over here on this plate. While I can leave these screws long, they won't be exposed since there's a cover. However, it's still pretty sharp. So I'm going to go ahead and give it my shot and use this guy right here. All right, I sanded them all down, got to as close as possible with my rotary tool, and now I'm just going to go ahead and clean this up with a vacuum. Got this grip tape, and then went ahead and just covered all 4 areas where I had the screws, the plates. All right, so here's the final build. Ended up going outside since I was losing light inside. You can see here that this is the Strobius 85 bag, and then it looks pretty bad only because there really is just a ridiculous amount in there. There is a 5-foot C-stand column inside, and the thing that's hanging out here is the Kupo rolling stand, and then there's my homemade boom arm inside, along with 2 Manfrotto nano stands. But as mentioned, I typically will be bringing the Matthews Murph stand. So just a view from the top, you can kind of see the rings holding it in place. And I was able to use the 4 feet ratchet straps, and it works because on the bottom, things are not actually touching the ground. So just putting on to the side, and gonna do it with one hand here, but here's a ratchet strap. And again, on the other side. And the way that I configured it was basically crossing the ratchet straps, and these are 4 foot, which is kind of perfect. You could probably go a little bit longer, but I imagine you'd have to cut them. So what I've done is just, and I can show you what's actually inside here. Again, this is something that I've always wanted to bring to a shoot without the it being so cumbersome. So here's the boom arm. Here is the Kupo rolling stand. And inside the away case actually is the other 2 stands in there. But inside here is the 5-foot C-stand column. And for the main light, that is the soft lighter, Photex soft lighter modifier. And so this setup in itself is the main light, and then the two other stands that are in the bag are the hair light and also the background light. 80-200s are in there, along with the Pentax camera. So overall, this is the setup of being hands-free.